What's up YouTube, Jamie the Kid 00 here, coming to you guys with an updated Infernity deck profile for the new September TCG ban list. I left up my last deck profile of Dragon Roller Plants because, hey, it fits the OCG ban list. It was not worth me tearing it down because I can still, get views off it, so why not? But this is going to be my first deck of the actual confirmed new list with the removed Reborn and the removed Storm, and I'm actually going to be testing Infernities as one of my first decks. I really like the deck. It's really powerful, and with Storm gone, it's incredibly control-y, and it's just a bit better. It's a bit more reliable, and you can set fight. You can set your hand without fear, as long as you don't run into Malevolent Catastrophe. So we're going to get into the deck profile. It's going to be fairly similar to the list you saw before, but I did get a couple of comments asking me to update that list, so I've updated it, and let's get into it right now. So we start off with the 3 Infernity Archfiend, of course, the card that you are going to be circulating in this deck, accompanied with the 3 Infernity Necromancer. Of course, you know this all already. So it's the 3 Necromancer and the 3 Archfiend are going to form the core of our deck, along with the Archfiend Heiress, which I explained in the past video. We'll be sending usually with our Lavavel Chain, or our Greffel, or our Armageddon Knight, to search out our Archfiend so that we can make more plays. So it becomes incredibly versatile. Believe me. And I'm going to pick these up and get them out of the way because I can see this causing a problem already. So that's the 7 there. And then for the kind of non-Infernity stuff, I mean, Archfiend Heiress wasn't Infernity, but shut up. For the non-Infernity stuff, we play 2 Summon a Monk. This card is still incredible. With the reduction in back row and warnings and things like that, it's much less likely to get stopped. I mean, Veiler is going to become a bit more popular, but that's something that we're going to have to deal with, and we always did have to deal with. So the 2 Summon a Monk you're going to take that chance. We then play double Siege and Street Patrol because this is what gets our plays going. I don't think the 3 is necessary, but I mean, depending on how this format goes, 3 might be needed. And I then play the 1 Armageddon and the 1 Dark Greffer for setting up our graveyard to make our plays. So that is our complete monster lineup. It's basically just stuff for clearing your hand and setting up your hand for your Infernity combo plays. This deck entirely revolves around its combos. It's very... It doesn't bode well for control, but you should be able to combo almost every opening hand. For the spells, we play the 1 Dark Hole as the 1 staple because Reborn and Storm are gone. I still don't like Book of Moon for this deck. A friend of mine recommended Book of Moon to me, but my response was, Book of Moon, in the way I play it, is a card that I often hold a lot more than I set. And in this deck, you do not want to be playing any cards that you hold, so I didn't feel that it belonged in this deck. It could be a very good card for this deck, I appreciate that, but I didn't feel that Book of Moon was going to be entirely necessary. I may learn from that mistake, but for now, I don't like it. I then play 1 Rota for the Armageddon Knight and the Dark Greffer. The 1 Monster Gate, someone asked me why I don't play Reasoning. The reason why I play this card over Reasoning is because in this deck you play level 3s and level 4s, and the card you want to find is level 4. And the majority of your monsters are level 4. So if your opponent calls level 4, when you're Reasoning, your Reasoning is dead. And if they know what they're playing against, they're always going to call 4. So Reasoning is an awful card. Monster Gate, however, does not have a call. You just drop whatever you find. So I like Monster Gate a lot better. The 1 Infernity Launcher to get our combos going. Well, to get our combos to the execution point. The 1 Foolish Burial to completely set up our graveyard. Then for the 2 others I play double Pot of Duality. Double Instant Fusion because you still want to have... Like, this card really gets you going when you have some of the more awkward hands. And I'm still testing Double Transmodify. I still really enjoy playing this card, and I'll be playing it for quite a while in my opinion. Because it just turns hands where you open a dead Necromancer into hands where you just open Archfiend or Dark Greffer or Siege and Street Patrol. It's just worth playing. Like, so many things that you find, unless it's another Necromancer, they're pretty good. And then, because Storm is gone, you'll kind of understand that we play 3 Mystical Space Typhoon accompanied by the full suite of 3 Night Beam. So, with Storm gone, I feel the need for the 3 Night Beam. I was playing 2 before anyway, but I feel now that that is going to be an incredibly powerful set to deal with back row. So, moving on to the traps. The traps have not changed very much, I've just taken those compulsories out. So I'm playing 1 Compulse. I still feel Compulse is one of the best traps to play, especially with the decks that are now circulating around that revolve mainly around Synchroing and Exceasing. What with Zombies becoming an incredibly powerful deck, this card is very, very effective against them. And so are some of the other cards we play in the deck. Continuing on, I play 3 copies of Infernity Break. Infernity Break is probably one of the most disruptive traps in the deck, besides Barrier. And I really feel that Break is going to become even more versatile in the coming format. Similar with the ability to pinpoint certain combo pieces that your opponent is using and immediately remove them, and it can also double as a back row remover, giving me 9 outs to back row as just 1 card drops. With the 3 MST, the 3 Night Beam, and the 3 Infernity Break. So I'm very likely to go off if I want to. Then, whereas before I played 2 Infernity Barrier, I've now bumped up to 3 Infernity Barrier, because now that Storm is gone, your opponent is going to have to burn through every single trap you set. Every single trap you set is going to be live unless it gets MST'd. So it's going to be incredibly effective. So I felt that the 3 Barrier was going to be very helpful. And the one issue with Barrier I find is, during your combo plays, if your opponent times it at the correct point, they can torrential you or things like that. And Infernity Barrier won't be able to activate because you'll have a card in hand or you won't have your Arcfiend on field at the time. So the card I'm actually playing to combat that, and it could prove to be a terrible tech, or it could prove to be the best tech of the format. I'm testing 1 copy of 7 Tools of the Bandit. It's just in there for those plays where your opponent is going to try and wreck you, and the reason why I prefer this to things like Stun or just all sorts of other things is I really like it because it can stop warning and it can just stop counter traps and it stops everything and people can't chain onto it again. Like your opponent can't go bottomless, activate and trap stun, and then your opponent goes torrential. This card can't be chained to unless it's another counter trap, which there aren't many of now that Judgment is gone. But I just really like this card. I'm really into testing it, and we'll kind of see how it performs in the format to come. Then for the extra deck hasn't really changed much in my opinion, but we'll get into it. I'm kind of sad we can't shot clock anymore. That's definite loss for the deck, but yeah, you can play out of it. There's still plays you can make. You can just set up loads of barriers. We play Double Fiend Lavalval Chain. Lavalval Chain is still an incredibly powerful card. It's still something you really need to play in this deck to keep your combos going. I would be playing 2 Diamond Direwolf if I had to, but I only have 1. So 1 Diamond Direwolf is enough. It just means that you won't have a second one if you execute some of your combo plays, and you sometimes do need the second, but Direwolf is a card. The 1 Dagusto Emerald for recycling some things. After you've used your launcher, you can often put your Necromancers back in the deck, which is usually quite helpful for you. And it allows free draws, and it can also revive your instant fusion targets from the graveyard once they've been used. So it allows you to combo a little bit more. The 1 Master Key Beetle, it's incredibly effective in the deck. I can't see myself running this deck without Master Key Beetle, so I really like it. Evil Storm Nightmare, it's just an incredibly good disruptor card. Gemrack Pearl deals with Ophion really well. Pap Preparative, because it's Pap Preparative. Cowboy, because Cowboy for game is fun times. And then the final rank 4 I play is Maestroke, because it's the best generic rank 4. Then for the 3s, I play double Leviair because you need 2 Leviairs. There are combo plays where you need to blow up 1 Leviair and make a second one afterwards. So you just need the double Leviair. And then the 1 Wind Up Zen Mains for occasions where you don't want to make Leviair and you just need to boost protection. Or it can be used in an aggressive capacity. So Zen Mains just puts in work. And then finally we play 1 level 3. And this is a proxy currently, but I'd be playing a Dark Fire Dragon if I could find it. But I just can't find my Dark Fire Dragons at the moment, so this is a proxy. But yeah, guys, otherwise this has been my updated Infernity Xyz deck profile. I hope you've enjoyed. It doesn't really need to change that much for the new format. One thing you just need to fear is Veiler. Like, you can play through certain other things, but the Veiler and the Maxi especially, they are quite troublesome cards. So of course this deck is not without its weaknesses. You can barrier those hand traps if you happen to have the barrier already, but otherwise, yeah. That's about all the advice I can give. I'm getting pretty tired because I was up until 2 in the morning waiting for the ban list to be announced, which was fun. But yeah, otherwise, this has been Jimmy the Kid 00. I hope you've enjoyed this deck profile for about the 3rd time I've said that. This has been Infernity Xyz, and I will see you guys next time with some more new format deck lists. Peace out.